79%. I just want you to take a second and really think about that number. According to recent surveys, a staggering 79% of corporate strategists say that artificial intelligence, automation, and analytics are absolutely critical to their success over the next 2 years. I mean, that is a massive majority recognizing that the future of work is literally already here.
But then, we get to this jarring reality right next to it. Only 20% of those same leaders actually report using AI in their daily activities. Seriously, think about that gap. We have this groundbreaking technology that everyone agrees is essential, yet barely a fifth of leaders are actually using it day to day. That stark drop-off? Well, that's the central mystery we're unpacking today.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, our big goal is to completely demystify the successful integration of AI. We're going to bridge that massive gap between 79% expectation and 20% reality. And to do that, we're exploring two crucial elements: how organizations actually manage their processes and the deep, instinctual human psychology that ultimately dictates whether we accept or reject a new technology. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap. We're covering the productivity paradox, Kaizen 2.0, the autonomous agent era, the human roadblock, and finally, overcoming resistance.
Section 1. The AI productivity paradox, or how history is essentially repeating itself.
Right now, organizations are pouring trillions of dollars into data and AI. The hype is everywhere, right? But mysteriously, this massive, unprecedented investment just isn't showing up in broad economic productivity statistics yet. The famous economist Robert Solow once observed, "You can see the computer age everywhere but in the productivity statistics." What's so fascinating is that he said this way back in 1987 about the dawn of computers. It brilliantly proves that history is just repeating itself with modern AI. Simply buying technology isn't enough. If you treat AI as just some trendy plug-and-play tool, you're going to get zero return on investment.
Moving on to Section 2, Kaizen 2.0 and process, marrying tech and workflow.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real secret here. AI must be deeply, intimately married to process management. You have to weave it into the very fabric of how work gets done across the whole organization. It creates this complex labyrinth of humans and digital interfaces. Integrating AI isn't like installing a quick software update on your laptop. It's a systemic, incredibly complex change. It cuts across every department, requires massive change management, retraining, and totally shifting the culture so humans and tech actually work well together.
So that brings us to Kaizen 2.0. Back in the 1940s, Taiichi Ohno developed the Toyota production system based on Kaizen, which is the Japanese principle of continuous improvement driven by everyday employees. Today, Kaizen 2.0 takes that exact same philosophy but supercharges it with generative AI. It finally achieves this long-held management dream, putting real business transformation directly into the hands of all employees, not just the folks down in IT. Let's ground this concept with a fantastic real-world example from Mercedes-Benz. They built this thing called the MO360 data platform. Now, instead of needing a specialized data scientist to write complex database queries, everyday shop floor workers can just use natural language AI. They can simply ask the AI about assembly line bottlenecks in plain English and get immediate, data-rich insights. It completely democratizes the data and empowers the worker on the floor to reimagine their own workflow on the fly.
Another absolutely incredible example of this empowerment is Ryan McClelland, a research engineer at NASA. He actually uses commercially available AI to design specialized, one-off space parts. The AI designs these structures under his supervision. And the results? Well, the parts look a little weird and organic, sure, but they are designed in hours instead of months. Plus, they're 2/3 lighter and 10 times stronger than traditionally designed parts. I mean, this is human intuition and machine speed, creating absolute magic together.
Section 3. The autonomous agent era. This is when AI truly takes the wheel.
We are crossing a wild new frontier right now, where AI stops just giving advice, like a standard chatbot, and actually starts taking independent action on your behalf. The story of the Do Not Pay CEO is a perfect illustration of this. He gave an autonomous AI agent access to his financial accounts and simply prompted it with 3 little words: "Find me money." The agent went to work totally autonomously. It found an $81 unnecessary subscription and a $37 in-flight Wi-Fi fee. But it didn't just point them out. It offered to cancel them, drafted the dispute letters, and even emailed his cable provider to negotiate a 20% discount. No way, right?
So the crucial point is, what makes these agents completely different? Well, it boils down to 3 distinct traits. First, they exhibit goal-oriented behavior, adapting their strategies to actually achieve objectives. Second, they use logical reasoning and planning to break complex tasks into smaller parts. And third, they have long-term memory and reflection, allowing them to learn from past interactions. In a super famous Stanford experiment, 25 simulated AI avatars used these exact traits to mimic credible human behavior and continuously improve their simulated workflows without any human intervention at all.
But here's where we kind of have to pull the rug out from under all this technology hype. If AI can negotiate your cable bill and design NASA space parts, we have to ask, so why is AI failing to get traction with everyday users? Why are we still stubbornly stuck at that 20% adoption rate we saw at the very beginning of the explainer?
Section 4. The human roadblock. The psychology of resistance.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is it captures the hard truth. The most advanced trillion-dollar technology in the world is utterly useless if human beings instinctually refuse to use it. Over a decade of research shows that people harbor deep, instinctual cynicism toward autonomous systems. Get this, nearly half of Americans believe AI might one day attack humanity, and 80% fear it'll be used maliciously. That giant metallic emotionless face looming over a workforce, it perfectly captures the unease we naturally feel.
Researchers have actually uncovered 5 fundamental psychological barriers that explain why we resist AI so strongly. Number 1, it's opaque. We just don't understand how it makes decisions. 2, it's emotionless. 3, we perceive it as inflexible. 4, it's autonomous, which totally threatens our sense of control. And 5, quite simply, we just have a deep-seated preference for human.
Let's look a bit closer at that emotionless barrier. Ask yourself right now, would you take dating advice from an AI? How about financial advice? Studies show people are perfectly happy to take financial recommendations from an AI because it's seen as an objective task based on math. But dating advice? People heavily resist it. We believe machines just can't understand the subjective, emotional nuances of human relationships. We reject the tech not because it's bad, but because it feels emotionless.
Section 5. Overcoming the human roadblock and finding the synergy solution.
So, how on earth do we fix this? Managers have to actively design the rollout of AI to soothe these human anxieties. To combat the opaque barrier, look at this brilliant strategy from Miroglio Fashion, a large Italian retailer. They wanted to use AI for store inventory. Instead of rolling out their most advanced, complex image analysis AI first, which was a total black box to the staff, they started with a simpler, highly transparent AI model. It didn't perform quite as well as the advanced one, but it allowed the employees to understand it and build trust. Only after a year of building that human trust did they roll out the complex model. Trust first, tech second.
Let's move to and see how this builds into restoring human agency. To fight the fear of autonomous systems, you have to design for predictability. A really great example is iRobot and their Roomba vacuums. They specifically program the Roomba to move in predictable, logical paths rather than highly unpredictable, hyper-efficient ones. Why? Because unpredictable movements make the vacuum look like it has a mind of its own, which honestly just freaks people out. Designing it to feel predictable restores our sense of control and combats that whole autonomous threat.
Which leaves us with this final, memorable thought. We've seen that AI without humans is just unused code, and humans resisting AI are missing out on an incredible evolutionary leap in how we work. So, if AI doesn't replace humans, will humans using AI replace those who don't? Humans remain the absolute linchpin of successful AI integration, and the ones who learn to master this human-machine synergy are the ones who are for sure going to define the future. Think about that as you look at your own workflows tomorrow. Thanks for exploring the source material with us on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.